Hello, I'm PJ Bishop. Welcome to my channel. And in this video, we're going to go over the 2024 draft class, all 20 picks, and see how they're currently doing so far in just about half a month of action for some of them, if they signed early enough. Some of them it took a little longer, so they might have only had 10 days or so. We'll see what their potential is, what I think their future is, my reasoning for drafting some of them, and we'll see where they stand in my organization. So my number one overall pick was shortstop Bryce Rayner. He is I think he's got good enough skills to stay at shortstop. Picked him third overall. Potentially one of the best hitting shortstops in the game. He's going to have elite on-base skills. Not going to be quite the home run power guy, which is not necessary. If he's got elite. He's going to be elite as a leadoff man. So he's going to hit for a good percentage on base, and he's already hitting the ground running really well. In the complex, he was hitting 1,100. On base was 423. So I went ahead and promoted him to low A full season ball Florida State League. We'll see how he does there. That'll be a much bigger adjustment, I think, because he's not going to be as good relative to the players there. That's the only issue is it's too easy down here, the complex. But then when you promote them, it becomes too difficult because they're skill-wise, they're just not there yet. If you look at it, even relative to the Florida complex, he's really terrible. So you got to imagine how much worse he is, compared to competition. So it's going to be tough. I'll see if his tools can carry him because he's got really good tools. Excellent defender. Wish he was a little faster. That would make him, in my eyes, one of the more elite players. But with his perfect grade, he kind of reminds me when Jackson Holliday was drafted. He's got that similar build because Jackson Holliday didn't come in with too high of a grade on his home run power, but he's kind of built into that over his last year or so. And he's big enough at 6'3", and he's already got projected to have average home run power. So you never know, that could change. We've got really good coaching here, and we pour a lot of money into developing, so that could actually end up changing. But really excited for him. First round pick, third overall pick in the draft, and he's already hitting the ground running really well. We'll see how he does in August. But he's a long-term project. A lot of my guys are long-term projects, and he's no different than any of them. But so we'll see how he does. Really excited to have him. Our number 2 pick was Aiden Harris. Where is he? There he is, my third baseman. He's going to be our third baseman of the future. Now, some of these guys came in at a different position, and I actually changed their position according to what I think they're better at. I think he'll be a better third baseman than he is even though he's got near perfect grade for first base, his arm is pretty darn good, and he's got good range and a good air to play third, and he's got the project, he projects well at third or first, really. But he's got the profile. He was my second overall, 35th overall pick. Projects to be a really good overall hitter. And he's going to have really good home run power. He's going to have elite bat-to-ball skills. And he's a good defender as well. And he can play, I think he can play in the outfield. I don't know what is his ratings in the outfield. And he can play in the outfield. He can play left. And he can play right if he needed to. So he's got some versatility. You could definitely find him a spot in your starting lineup because he's got 4 legit positions plus the DH spot is always available. So you got 5 positions. So it definitely has a place in the lineup when he gets up there. Not exactly hitting the ground running. He's definitely, this isn't high school anymore. So you could definitely do the difference. But I wouldn't say he's holding his own. That's 550 is not very good. But again, these guys come in at extremely terrible as far as what their overall is. So it takes about a year or two to really adjust. Some guys are quicker than others. In this case, it looks like it's going to take him a little while to adjust, but that's fine. Again, he's a pick. A lot of my guys were high school players, So I don't expect him to be good until way down the road. The next pick is Chris Newstrom, right fielder, third round, 69th overall. Really like him as well. Fits right field pretty darn well. Not a very rangy guy. Okay defensively, but he's got a good enough arm to stay in right. And his bat really speaks, says right field. He's got a typical right field makeup as far as his bat is concerned. And that's what's going to carry him to the majors. It's going to be his bat. He's going to have elite home run power. He's going to have really good contact, really good gap power. And he's only going to strike out a little below average, and he's going to have a good walk rate, which happens usually with high power guys. They tend to draw more walks as pitchers try to avoid giving them good looks. You don't really want to throw a home run hitter strikes because they're bound to connect and hit a home run. But he's another really good-looking kid. So we got some good. We got a shortstop. We had a third baseman, and now a right fielder. All projected to be 5-star guys. All projected to be really good hitters. So it's just a matter of developing them and waiting. Now he's not done so bad. His OPS is 766, although it's gone down each game. He's gotten worse and worse. So that's more. I think that speaks more to having a good first game, and then kind of getting worse from here on out. But again, it's a big adjustment period for most of these kids because he too is probably coming out of high school. He is coming out of high school, but really excited. So my first 3 picks, I think I nailed so far. And my fourth pick is first baseman Rylan Zambrowski, my first collegiate kid that I picked up out of Miami University. Hey, local kid, Miami University, goes to Florida Marlins. And he's already been promoted to low A ball as he was crushing it in rookie. 1,700 OPS, which is absolutely ridiculous. 412 average. I think it's because he hit 4 home runs in 6 games. But it's better to look at it in 4 home runs and 17 at bats, which is insane. That's pretty much every 4 at bats he was hitting a home run. Almost essentially every game. Significantly slowed down in the A League, low A ball, but he should be good enough to play there. So I don't know what the issue is. I think he'll adjust and be just fine. It might take him a little time. Maybe he's striking out a little much. Because if you look at it, he should definitely be doing just fine in low A as well. He's definitely. You'll notice college hitters will be a little more polished, so they might climb your ranks much quicker. But I think it's a great find, 4th round, 98th pick. Now, what's happening is my first base is getting really crowded. It's already crowded in the majors, and now it's even more so crowded with the addition of Ryland, which means we're starting to build some trade capital for the offseason. So if I want to unload a few prospects to get a more established player, I can now, especially at first base where I'm starting to become a little heavy with the amount of talent that I have. But again, excellent pick here, I think, by me again. 4th round. Looks like he can develop into a really good player. He's gonna be a good overall hitter. Not quite as good as the first 3, but still really good overall. And strictly first base, it looks like. I don't like his arm. It's too weak for third. I wouldn't really play him at third unless I absolutely had to. And really not quite good enough in the outfield, in my opinion. So he's more of a first base DH kind of guy. So doesn't have too much value defensively, nor on the base pass. His value is just his home run power. Is his real value. He could be one of those decent leadoff hitters who can crank some home runs right out the gate, as he does have good contact and good eye discipline. But I think in the future he's going to be batting either more than likely with his home run power not being high as the other guys. Definitely 4 or 5, possibly a 6 in my lineup. Definitely still has a future. Although he may not get there in my team. Who knows? My next pick In the 5th round was, who was it? It was Hank Pfeiffer. 5th pick, 128th overall. Starting pitcher, so I went pitcher finally. I like him. He's going to have elite stuff. Now, his movement and control is not that good. Movement is especially below average, and his control, though, is fantastic. As he's got, or not fantastic, but it's going to be average there. Now, if he doesn't pan out as a starter, he definitely has a spot as a possible closer or even a setup man, as his stuff is elite. He has elite level stuff and can definitely be used in the bullpen. Preferably not a long reliever, because if he's struggling as a starter, he'll probably end up struggling as a long reliever as well, because the movement is what scares me. Now, again, we got good coaching, so we may be able to bring him up. Now, he's not having a good time. It's only 8 innings, but really high ERA. Six runs for him. But he's going to see, it says home runs. 2 home runs in his first game. Another home run in the last game. He is getting strikeouts, though, as you can see. Got 7 strikeouts last game in 5 innings. 3 the game before. He's already at 10.4 per 9, so he's going to be able to strike you out. It's his home run, and looks like he's having an issue walking as well. 5 and 6, which is 11 walks to 10 strikeouts is terrible. That is a horrible ratio. And the home runs, that's got to be improved as well. So he's got a long way to go before he's making any sort of impact on my team. But a good pick, one of those long projection kind of picks. High school arms take a while to develop, and he should be no different. Our next pick was second baseman Chris Rambert, picked in the 6th round, 158th overall. Really love him as a second baseman, because he doesn't have that elite range or air or arm, but he's really good at what he does, and I like him overall as a player. I like everything he does. I like that he's going to develop into a solid offensive weapon. I like that he's going to be dangerous on the base paths once he gets on base, and he's going to be able to get on base. He's not one of those guys that can't get on base. He should be able to get on base if he develops properly. And I like that he's solid defensively. He's a good, solid overall player that will more than likely hit in the bottom half of my lineup. But if this is the bottom half of your lineup, you're doing really well for yourself, because he's providing defense, he's a danger on the base paths, and he's solid offensively. You're not looking at a guy who's terrible. So really happy to land him. And he's holding his own right now. It's only in the complex, but he's hitting 775 OPS. It's his slugging and that's really keeping him up. His average is terrible. He's got a 143 average. So he's not getting on base quite as good as you would like. We're not getting base hits. He's already cracked 3 home runs in 13 games. Not bad. So he's gonna have above average everything. Really, he's gonna be a good player. So I think it's a great pick for 6th round. 6th round pick there. And then after that we have Ethan Pecco. 7th round, 188th overall pick. Starting pitcher. I already promoted him up to low A ball. Now, he's nothing exciting as far as his ratings are concerned. He's going to be an above average pitcher. He may end up someday just being a long reliever. But if he's in their bullpen, I think he's an excellent bullpen option. And he's already playing really well. In 14 innings, he's got a really good ERA there at 1.88. Whip is a little high, but that's because his walk rate is at 5.7 per 9, and his strikeout rate is 8.8 per 9. But home run rate is low, so I'm happy to see him coming in and keeping his home run rate down against professional hitters. But again, for a 7th round pick, this guy if he's not starting for me, which I don't think he will, he's a long relief option in the bullpen. Because when you change him to reliever, his stuff is going to go up. So instead of being 55, it will essentially be 60 stuff. And everything else will stay the same. So he'll be a really good option when I need some innings eaten up, whether it's an injury or even an emergency spot start or as an opener or a follower. He's going to be, I think he's going to be excellent. And who knows, with developing and he can exceed his expectations and be better than we thought. Then we have, where is he? Mario Zabala, center fielder, picked 8th round, 218th overall. Now, potentially wise, he's going to be an average player. I'm not in love with him. I like him defensively. He can play every outfield. Left field is probably where he's the best, but I like him at center field. I like this part here as well. He's got really good stealing and he's dangerous on the base pass. He's a good defender. It's his offense is what's not going to really be all that great. He's not going to have good bat to ball skills. I mean, he'll have good elite gap power and a good home run power. Just he's going to be a strikeout problem. But right now he's doing really well. And rookie ball, he was hitting 1,000 OPS. He got better and better, as you can see here, just kind of on a hot streak. A couple home runs really helped that. But that's what he is. He's a home run hitter. And he's definitely better than, again, he's a college bat, so he's going to be better than some of those guys. Another local kid, Florida International University. That's in Miami. Or maybe Fort Lauderdale, but it's in Miami. I think it's in Miami area as well. But then, again, another local kid, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to get these local kids, not even trying. Didn't even look at this until just now. But yeah, he was hitting at a really elite. He's hitting better than he was in college, which means he's going to slow down. He's not going to hit as. But he's hitting well. No surprise there, as he's much better than anybody. He'll be a star. Now he's back down to being about an average player amongst his peers. So we'll see what he really does once. But he could fast track his way up into the major league roster if he can. His home run power. This is what it is right now. His home run power is already there. So I don't know if it'll be next year, probably the following year. So really, in 2 years, he could possibly see my roster as a mid-season addition if he's hitting really well and we have guys struggling. But it's going to be tough for him to crack the lineup, as I do have Jazz Chisholm at center field, and he's really good. And I don't think he's definitely not better than him. At least offensively, he's not. Defensively, I don't think so either. So really, not much. He's gonna be a permanent backup. Pretty much his entire. One day he'll be a throw-in piece in a trade, is what he is. Just a guy you throw in and hope the AI likes him more than you do. All right, after Mario Zabala, we have, where are we? We have catcher Carson Bowman, picked in the 9th round, 248th overall. Nothing special, but we're struggling right now to find a permanent catcher, so he could very well find himself in that spot in the future. Pretty far away, I think, from being major league ready. Not excellent defensively, nor the base pass. He's going to be a little above average, maybe offensively. So it's not really. I wouldn't even say above average, because the I discipline and K rate are both going to be pretty bad. That's going to always hold him back. He's got potential to be a backup catcher. That's what he looks like. He looks like he's going to be a guy that's backing up the catcher. I don't really see him starting, but it's you always need catchers. Plus, he's a good, friendly guy. He's a clubhouse. He's good for the clubhouse, and you need that. Everybody has a role in the organization, and that will be his role. Then our next pick was John Spikerman, left fielder John Spikerman, 10th round, 278th overall. Already promoted him up to low A ball because he was just crushing it at the rookie at the complex, batting over 400. OPS was over 1,000. on base was 50, over half the at bats was on base and slugging 500. So he was really hitting well. We'll see what he does at the low A level. I don't expect anything out of him fantastic. I believe I end up drafting him just trying to get myself a left fielder, somebody that's useful there. As I wanted to cover every position just to kind of keep my organization filled with talent at every spot. I don't want to miss out on a spot and then years down the road I go, oh shit, I don't have anybody that can play left field very well. Nothing exciting as a player. He looks like he could develop into a average, about as average as a player as you can get. But I do like this as a left fielder, of course. This is nice. I like that. This isn't nice, but that's no. He's one of those emergency. If anything, he might be a career minor leaguer, really. If I look at it, a career minor leaguer who may have a late call up in his mid to late 20s, when I might have some string of injuries or the guy ahead is playing terrible. But I just don't envision that happening as I keep acquiring better and better players and better prospects. He looks more like someone that will end up being traded down the road. John Spikeman, where am I now? Trying to find out who I drafted. Next guy is starting pitcher Boston Bateman. Again, nothing spectacular. 11th round, 308th overall pick. This is when I stopped trying to, I think, draft guys that were. I mean, there were better guys available that I could have drafted. There were 3 stars or 3.5. I just didn't feel the need to draft them because the reason why I drafted some of these guys is some of them are on my list because they do have good enough ratings. Some of them made my list of being drafted is because of their personality, a high work ethic, high intelligence, and at least normal to high leadership skills. So some of them are only here not because of their talent, but more so because of how they're going to at least bring together a club. Happier players. If you're happy at work, you're going to do a better job. If you're happy at anything, you're going to do better than you are if you're miserable and upset. So trying to get guys that are happy, and because if you look at here, nothing great. He's struggling. He's also a two-way player. Not a very good one, but he is a two-way player. He could play first base if I ever needed. He's going to have pretty decent power and eye. Won't be able to hit for terrible contact. But aside from that, so it's not bad for an 11th round pick to hold together my house. Then we picked, where is he? There he is. Am I missing him? Way up here. Starting pitcher, Mekai Griffin, 12th round, 338th overall. Coming in as a average-looking player. But you never know with coaching and development. He's not playing terrible right now. 12 innings, a 4.5 ERA. Giving up way too many home runs and walking way too many guys. Striking out plenty. It's just this part here that is really struggling with. So I don't really expect him to do too much. Maybe one day a bullpen arm. Again, another one of those long reliever options. Because his stuff is pretty good to be in a bullpen. I don't mind. Then we have Sam Whiting. Relief pitcher Sam Whiting. 13th round, 368th overall. Average projection. Really surprised that he's a relief pitcher. If he had better stamina, because if you look at his pitching, he's got an arsenal of 4. And he's not even a long reliever. He's a middle reliever. That's not even, doesn't even have closer potential. It's kind of odd that he has really good pitchers, individual pitches. Like, And they're all going to develop to be pretty nice. And some of them already are nice. It's just, maybe he's one of those hidden gems. He just lacks an edge. Man, that's what it is. He lacks an edge. I don't know. I feel like he could be better than expected. 2 innings played. He's doing really well. Has a 0 ERA in 2 innings, but I did not promote him because it's just not enough for me to. I haven't seen enough yet for me to want to promote him. So let's see what he does. If he has another good August, even if it's 6 to 8 innings, I think it's enough to promote him. We'll see what he does. As long as he's happy. Sometimes they get upset if you. Then we have closer Keegan Zinn, 14th round, 398th overall. He can also play first base. Supposedly at a really good level. He's one of those two-way players. Looks like he's had one plate appearance and he walked and he got to produce a run. That's not bad. Good for him. As a pitcher, he's doing a terrible job. 14.54 ERA in 4 innings played. I don't think I've ever seen a walk rate that high before in my life. He's walking 10.4. Well, that's just because control is 30. No wonder. He's walking 10.4 per 9. So he's got a long way to go before he's out of the complex. But he's a high school arm. Oh, no, he played in college for 1 year. Interesting. I thought you had to play more than 1 year in college. Or is it 1 year if you don't go, then you got to stay for 2 more years? I forgot what the exact rules are. He was at junior college. That's why. Okay. That makes sense. Definitely far from polished. But hopefully we can work out his kinks here and get him. We can get this up higher. He'll be a solid pitcher. I don't know about a closer. I wouldn't put him as a closer, but the AI, his manager, felt the need to put him as a closer. I would probably not leave him as a closer. Somebody with a 14.54 ERA shouldn't be closing, you're probably going to lose a lot of games that way, especially if they're close. Then we have Lucas. Then relief pitcher Lucas Maustet, 15th round, 428th overall. This is where we're going to start getting to some guys that are questionable picks. But I like this. He comes in for extra work before games on a regular basis. So even though he looks bad here, he's a hard worker and could develop to a better player than we project. So it's kind of on him, although he hasn't seen any action. So he's not even good enough right now to see action. So who knows if he'll ever ends up playing for me or not. It'll be interesting to follow some of these guys. And then we have Isaac Stebones. Relief pitcher Isaac Stebones picked in the 16th round, 458th overall. Cherishes his pride and can't wait to leave after a game. All right, but he's good. Like, he's got good-looking. I like his ratings. Let's see here. 5 innings played. He looks good. I'm surprised I didn't promote him. His 5 innings I wasn't too happy with 5 innings yet. I wanted to see more. 0 ERA in 5 innings. I might promote him right now, actually. How would he look in the Florida League? He'll be average. You know what? I might promote him, actually. You, sir, are going to get promoted. Promote to Class A, Jupiter. We'll see how he does up there. I think he's good enough. He's shown that he's playing pretty well. It's small sample size. Really small sample size, but I think he can handle it. As he is a college. He's a polished college arm. And he's just a reliever. What else do we have here? Then we have Tommy Kane, relief pitcher. Again, another kid. Drafted 17th round, 488th overall. And he was playing well. Already earned a promotion in 9 innings. No runs given up or no earned runs given up. A decent whip. No home runs, which is what's keeping him where he is. walk rate's a little high, and the strikeout rate's pretty decent. So walk rate's being high as expected. No home runs given up makes sense as it's high. This is what it is compared to Major League pitching. I'm sure it's better compared to the level that he is. But he doesn't look bad. Again, goes out of the way to earn attention. Now, I don't know what that means. Like, good attention or bad attention? Because it doesn't really state what kind of attention. But I do like that he's playing well, and he's already earned a promotion to low A ball. Again, you see that I don't know if you saw the trend yet. If you're drafting college kids, you're going to see that they tend to be a little more polished, and they kind of climb your ranks a little faster than the high school kids, which is true to real life as well. Now, there's some rare occasions where the guys are just so good it doesn't matter. But I don't think this game recognizes that. I think this game makes all high school kids kind of suck. All college kids better than the high school kids. So there's not a lot of flavor when it comes to that. I wish they would change that and make it where they do come in better relative to the competition. Because for the most part, they all come in just terrible. Well, they're not that bad. Let's look at our next pick, Kyrie Long. Relief pitcher Kyrie Long, 18th round, 518th overall. He's bad. Preparation, intensity, and poise. He has them all. That's why he was drafted. He was drafted for his personality. This is when I get to my the high work ethic and intelligence guys. Because I don't really expect anything from him. He's holding his own. He's got a decent ERA. He's a two-way player as well? Looks like he's a two-way player as well, so he does bad as well. But he looks decent. Strikeout rate's really high, 16.9 per 9 innings. Now, that's because it's his most developed skill right now. But nothing amazing from him. I wouldn't ever imagine him seeing on my roster. He's more of an organizational depth and keeping folks happy in the clubhouse down in the minors. Then we have relief pitcher Lyle Miller Green, 19th round, 548th overall. I guess he's a smart kid because he cleans up. Another two-way player. We have a lot of two-way players. Again, really good ERA in the 4 innings that he's played. 2.25. Small sample size, but he's looking solid. He's holding his own. I don't expect much from him. But still left him in the complex league. See how he does. And then our final pick, Colby Martin, relief pitcher, 20th round, 578th overall. Coaches love Martin, and his makeup is off the charts. So he has potential to be a solid, leader as far as the clubhouse is concerned, which is why I drafted him. Now, skill-wise, he hasn't even pitched a single inning yet. As I guess they're not letting him, which I don't think he's that bad, is he? No, he's pretty bad. Okay, he's pretty bad. So I don't know. He's more of a leader, clubhouse kind of, but he can still develop and become a really good pitcher. Because you never know with these, what I call diamond in the rough kind of guys, where you pick them up because you think they have potential to become really good someday. And that's what I think he has. I think he has potential to be good if he works hard and picks it up. He may develop higher and quicker than you expect, and he might end up becoming more of an average player instead of being 1.5, he ends up 2.5, which is average. And then he might actually be worthy of a call up to the bullpen, because the bullpen is where you can always find a spot. Because you got 8 spots in the bullpen, so you got 2 middle relievers, you got 2 setup men, a closer, 2 long relievers. He won't be a long reliever, but he's got 5 other spots. Although he doesn't have the stuff to ever become a closer, in my opinion. But I don't mind him. He's decent. And some of these guys, like I said, were drafted just for the sake of not having everybody be 3-star or higher. That just to me becomes, and maybe they're not 3 stars because why are they available so low in the round? But anyway, that's the draft class. Happy about it. Got some high-end talent at the top. Plenty of players I consider major league caliber. And then, of course, a lot of organizational depth, which is down here. who are 50, I wouldn't even say 50-50, but have a chance of making a major league roster for one reason or another. And then guys who are just here because their makeup is good, or they're really skillful at a certain spot, and maybe with some better coaching they could put themselves in this position, maybe somewhere down here. Some of these guys are going to end up here, and some of these guys are going to end up down here. It's just how it works. A lot of them are extremely young, and things change. One thing I do intend on doing is down, after 5 seasons, I will do a where are they now to figure out, how are they doing? Are they still in my organization? Or are they in another team's organization? Are they already retired from the league because they got cut and they haven't been picked up by anyone? Are they all-stars in the major league? It'll be fun to see what my class is actually doing and how I've done as a general manager. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.